welcome to NSN Connect from National Skills Network. We are continuing our conversations with Rajesh A R, CEO LabourNet, on reigniting the skilling landscape in India, and in this episode we are going to focus on youth aspirations and how do we unlock these aspirations and help youth become aware of various opportunities even if they are in rural parts of India. So let's go ahead and learn more about the socio-economic implications of not making youth employable with appropriate skills, especially those from the rural areas, and how we can create pathways and how the new education policy provides many opportunities that can be explored and implemented to bring skills and education closer and help youth find role models, most importantly, to help them understand the importance of building a career and also look for gainful livelihood opportunities. So Rajesh, now that you have told us in detail about the three transitions, I would like to give you another case. This is something which I've experienced and I am experiencing. It is a bit on the personal side, but I think I can share it with everyone. At my place, we are availing services of a bedside assistant for my mother for the last 1+ year, I would say 1 year, 4 months or so. And we are very thankful to these girls who have been with us. And they are all from a company which is one of the leaders in India in terms of providing these services. And the girls, all of them are and all the girls have done this DDU GKY program. Just to give you a brief on that. So since they live with us, I often interact with them, and then I offer to help them with various things. And then since I see that they wanted to learn a bit of English sometimes, or there are some things which I feel I can do for them, I do. But then since a few girls were with us and then they changed, and then it happens like that. But the last couple of girls who have been with us, 2 of them happen to be from Bihar, and both of them have done DDU GKY, and one of them is a science graduate, and the other one is 12th pass. Okay. So often I talk to them and I understand that they don't have this kind of an aspiration. It's not that these girls don't have any aspiration. One of them says that she wanted to get into the Bihar police, but then she could not do because of her because of her height and weight and so on. And the other girl is engaged to be married, and she is absolutely, I would say, she just wants to settle down there. There's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong. But when I extend this example, and since I have interacted with a whole lot of people from similar backgrounds, I see that there is something like they're happy. I won't say it's a complacency, but I feel this kind of a satisfaction, or this kind of something which is a bit diffident, is going to affect the larger socio-economic fabric of that particular state and district in terms of economic development. So I will not go into more details, but I think I just wanted to sound this to you and understand, how do you interpret this phenomenon?
People, I'm assuming, have done their 10th and would have done a certification program, maybe in GDA kind of a thing, and then have been deployed to good houses like yours to take care of elderly people for their medical needs. Now, why are these why the growth of these people are stunted? That's a question which is to be looked at. First and foremost, I think what is important is, how do we unlock the aspiration of this youth? Okay. In terms of, so that they can think big. It is not getting into police is the final one. What is the kind of aspiration we can unlock? Okay. Some of them may say that I want to become a nurse. Some of them might say, hey, I want to move from Patna to Delhi or Patna to Bangalore. Some of them might say, no, I want to move from Hyderabad to, say, Dubai as a nurse. Some of them might say, I want to go to Europe. I'm saying about a place. Some of them might say, hey, can I can I set up a nursing clinic by myself? So how do we unlock various aspirations of these people, bringing in social and economical reasons as two big pillars is the first step. And thanks to maybe internet, your social media and other things, when they start acclimatizing themselves, I personally believe a lot of aspirations settle. Once we are unlocking that aspiration, then comes the question of pathway to reach that aspiration. Now, this is where the rigidity of the structure has been now replaced with the new NEP policy. That pathway of work integrated learning.
Now let's look at 2 or 3 important developments in recent past. One is the BWalk program, which is being offered from UGC, from the Ministry of Education. And second one is scope to make it flexible even in a diploma program, because there are some institutions which are offering flexible multi-entry exit kind of diplomas. And there could be many other things connected with it. And another important thing is the importance of introducing and implementing, I would say, credit-based system. Okay, implementing is the word, because I think there are a lot of challenges there. So in this backdrop, can you tell us, maybe giving an example, how this can be made into a reality for somebody who does an entry-level skilling program, could be a dropout, but has a lot of dreams, aspirations about getting a degree. To go back to what you had said earlier about the social value of the degree, the economic, the financial value. So can you just let us know a bit more about this?
Sure. Thanks, Madhuri. So here, let us look at a context here of bachelors of vocational. When we talk bachelors of vocational, what comes into our mind is a 3-year program. And in 3-year program results in, say, 1,000 credits or 800 credits, which again can be broken down to what is the theoretical understanding, what is the practical understanding, and what is the OJT, on-the-job kind of a training which is required, which leads to the credits required per subject for the university to grant a BWalk program. This is an academic exercise. And this exercise requires the approval of academic senate and various things. And how do we structure this program in 3 different ways, keeping the new age requirements of industry is the first activity. Once that is done, we need to look at it from a student perspective, that a student can't now spend 3 full years in a campus, especially the students which we're talking about in the informal sector, because the opportunity loss of not earning makes them to go and work. So according to the structure, if we are talking about a girl has finished a GDA kind of program, which is a 3 months kind of a program at a NEP MKVY center or any particular skilling center, and also directly enrolls into the Bachelor of Vocational, which can be a patient care kind of Bachelor of Vocational, that 600 hours or 300 hours which has been taken for a 3 to 4 months of learning that particular GDA program can be taken as a first theoretical alignment. And when she gets placed into a particular job in a hospital, etc., the on-the-job experience which she is getting can be converted to credits. And she can also access some level of self-learning and other activities, which then she completes, and she comes back to the university and gets the 1-year advanced certification. Post which she again goes back to work. Okay, and this crisscross of work and academics, after a 2nd year may be over, it can be a diploma or an advanced degree, advanced diploma kind of a program, or an associate degree kind of a program. And then towards the 3rd year, a different kind of work environment, different kind of learning can result in a degree which she can then cherish.
Right.
This interlocking or this movement from multi-entry, multi-exit, which a student and she goes through, can be a way to answer earning and learning hand to hand.
Rajesh, I think that was a good example for our audience who are not aware of GDA. It is General Duty Assistant. quite similar to the bedside assistant role, which is there in the healthcare sector, for which there is a huge demand, and lot of DDU GKY courses are offering this particular program, and we see it becoming popular among young girls coming from rural areas who want to work in this role and then perhaps and help themselves financially. And also I think what Rajesh is saying will also add to how they can dream about getting a degree, because most of them are either dropouts or they are challenged in some other way.
Collecting what you just spoke right now on dropouts. So this is where an integration of NIOS also comes in.
Okay.
In terms of if a person has just finished 10th or 12th, he has dropped out, how do we bridge 10th to 12th?
Yeah.
NIOS kind of elements can actually give them the flexibility to get a 12th standard, which is an important milestone for getting into a degree through a virtual and those kind of mediums.
Yeah, and similarly for ITI students also, there is this avenue from the NIOS where they can do the bridge kind of a course and get a certificate, and they can also aspire to get into a BTech program if everything is taken rightly, right?
Usually what happens in an ITI kind of scenario, they may be 8th, 10th or 10th pass, but 12th, they don't have a 12th, which doesn't give them entry point to the BTech or any kind of an engineering or even to a degree kind of a thing. So NIOS has come out with that kind of bridge program, which gives them an equivalence. An ITI plus and some level of courses, subjects in NIOS gives them an equivalence of 12th. Which is again an entry criteria for a BTech or any kind of an engineering program. So these kind of equivalences, which is today available in the market, which in our belief that it is going to get fine-tuned further and further with NEP and NSQF implementation, will make a lot of kids' aspiration to get a degree a reality.
Yeah, that's true. I think in terms of implementing these, there are few challenges, but I guess only when we start implementing, when we learn from what happens in the process, I'm sure the entire community of people who are involved in academics and industry integrated learning will learn from each other, and this might get smooth implementation and also acceptance, because the concept is still pretty new in India.
Aspirational unlocking starts with creating a role model. Okay, other than the other part of social media and things, etc. And most of the time, especially for the audience which you just spoke right now, that role model may be in part of their village, or it can be at the part of the work site. And what does that role model do? Role model would have earned better. He would have become, or he or she would have become a nurse. He would have earned better, or he would be having a car or an independent house, or he is having a degree, whatever may be the kind of a thing. And people around them look upon that particular role model. Like in Kerala, I mean, like when I'm talking about 80s, kind of 70s, 80s, everybody wanted to go to Middle East. And that happened because certain set of people went and they brought in riches back into it. So then you felt, hey, let me run away from Kerala, go to Middle East and earn better. And that created a huge exodus of Malayalis into Middle East. So the role modeling is an important element in terms of, and if that role model is having a car, how do I get a car? Okay, he took this path, now I'll take that path. With that, a role model and with the guidance around that, I'm not saying to become a role model in terms of to reach to the benefits what the person is doing, which is NEP work integrated skills or to create jobs in various places, I think is a first basic step.
Yeah. I think not only materialistic, it could be something else also, which is, attracting me as a role model in a person. So probably that is missing, like you said very rightly. So now when we again revisit the NEP part of it, do you think it is going to help in creating this aspiration among people, especially from districts like this, because today we are talking so much about, I would use the word reigniting the skilling landscape at the district level. Like say we are talking about the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship, the MGNF fellows who are working at the grassroots level. There are so many initiatives from the government, but at the practical level, to make things happen, these I think are the hurdles.
This is where I think the element of assessments come in.
Mm-hmm.
What in a case where in a district like Champaran or a place which is slightly interior, a person is not able to articulate what he wants to do. You need to have a diagnostic tool to figure out in terms of what is he good at, what can he absorb at level 1, that is at a nominal wage, what can he absorb at a decent wage, and what can he absorb at an aspirational wage. And that has to be looked at not just from skills perspective, it has to be looked at from where he is, what he has done, what is his family background, which is all data related. It has to be looked at the knowledge level which is available in that particular place and what he is having, the skill level, and primarily at the behavioral level of that particular thing. So this diagnostic tool, and I'm loosely using the word assessments, but this is an important element to understand what can be the first step for this person to take it on. When you couple this assessment with counseling, role model and pathway, you are able to pull this person out of that particular poverty or to get into a dignified livelihood.
Has to fit into probably the curriculum or some extracurricular activity. I think this package will do wonders, I guess, to unlock aspiration, as we are saying, because as human beings, I think all of us have that inbuilt thing in us. It's just that some of us get to realize it and some don't. And who knows what is in store for us when you unlock the potential and the aspiration of millions in India at a very young age. I think that's what we should do. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. I'm completely in agreement with you. That's a reason skills should not be looked at just as a technical training, imparting a technical training. It has to be looked at from an outcome. And again, I'm just coming back to the point of outcome. Outcome is a wage, which is economic empowerment. Outcome is a social recognition. If we focus on the outcome and then you bring in that element of skilling or whichever way which has to be brought in, we will see very different results, and not India at a 138 or 140 position of a GDP per capita GDP.
Okay. I think, Rajesh, the points you shared with us on unlocking youth aspirations in the context of NEP 2020 is absolutely essential for all of us to understand deeper. But then along with it, we should also learn from you about how do we go ahead and make it happen, because making it happen is not as easy as just talking, right? We really need to work hard to make it happen. So what are your top 3 thoughts which can be converted into action by all the stakeholders who are involved in this?
See, the one is actual NEP implementation. I mean, in terms of how do we leverage that model of lateral and vertical mobility of the workforce, which NEP throws up. The second most important element is how do we communicate to our target audience? In terms of as a policy maker, as a training institute, as government, as a DGET, whichever forms and shapes it is, how do we create more awareness? How do we create acceptance with the university, which is academia, and with the industry and with the students? So it is a 3-way approach. We need to look at how do we make it more and more acceptable. Third is in terms of how do we create an effective credit system which brings in industry and academia and gives in that level of credibility for the bachelor's of degree or the program output which we are trying to bring in to the ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that was a very crisp listing of what action we should be taking, and I'm sure our audience would really benefit. And also, with these takeaways, you can also reach us out for more information or any guidance that you need in case you're implementing NEP in your institutions and would want to try out a credit based system and so on. Thank you so much, Rajesh.
Thank you. Thank you.
In this episode, we just saw why each one of us should worry about youth aspirations, particularly those who are coming from disadvantaged sections, those who are coming from rural areas, and how we can help them with appropriate skilling and show them opportunities for careers, for jobs, and so on. And the action points shared by Rajesh are something that we all need to look into and implement them and try to understand why they are very important and how we can include them in our endeavor towards making skilling aspirational for youth. Thank you so much for being a part of this episode. I look forward to your views, your suggestions, your comments, and your experience in this field. It would be nice to hear from you and learn from you as we go ahead and explore more in the coming episodes. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to receive the notifications as and when we publish our videos. Thank you so much, and I look forward to be in touch with you. Thank you. Goodbye.